Thank you for having me here today at the Roof Gallery. My name's Mel. I own Green Roofing and Construction. I'm down here gaining some knowledge, some light from all you guys in the insurance industry. We necessarily don't do any insurance, so we want to get into it. We do retail, so I'll be explaining how the retail process works, some of our sales methods, and answer any questions you guys have. All right. So step one, obviously with us, with the retail side, we have the leads come in, they're hot leads. So you don't have to, we have canvassers, we have field marketers, Facebook ads, different ways to generate the leads. So the sales rep or the expert, as I'm gonna call you guys from going here on out, you guys just show up to the house and they know you're coming, and you sit down with them, they need a roof. So you're there to sell them a roof or pitch them a roof. So you go, obviously, rapport. Rapport is huge, as you do now. So, you want to make that person not like you. Always say you want to have them love you, right? So, warm up with them. Warm up, never rush or warm up. I preach that to my sales team all the time. So, you walk up to the house, you see a bumper sticker that says, Georgia Bulldogs, or you see a soccer ball, you see kids and, run a soccer net or a basketball hoop. You want to ask questions. Things like, oh, the weather's so nice today. It's pretty basic. We want to ask layering questions. Oh, how long you lived here? Oh, you like the neighborhood? Yeah, I saw that Georgia Bulldog sticker on there. Did someone go there? Someone play sport there? Oh yeah, my son, he was a quarterback. Oh, what's his name? Just make them love you. Next step, we got to get in the house. So go into the house. First thing I always ask, hey, you want me to take my shoes off? Is there a way somewhere I can put my bag? Usually we have a GAF sample bags with us, the iPad. So, is there, can we sit down at the kitchen, somewhere we can sit down so I can explain everything to you? Cool, you go to the kitchen. So you warmed up with them, and I pull this up. So I say, hey, I literally read off of this. I have printed out sometimes. I can type it, whatever it is, whatever's better. So I say, hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions, just to better understand your needs so I can make, a better recommendation based on your feedback. So the discovery is, like, if not the most important part of the whole pitch, because you're finding out why you're there and how you can help them. So, how'd you hear about us? Oh, someone knocked on my door yesterday. He said you guys were doing an install down the street. So I thought, I'd get an estimate. Cool. All right, great. Who knocked on the door? Oh, Tom. Yeah, he's a great guy. Great. All right, he's been with us for a long time. Were you referred by someone? We do get a lot of referrals. So this question highlighted. This is another way of saying, hey, am I your first estimate? Do you guys have any other estimates? But instead of saying, hey, am I your first estimate, instead of asking something open like that, you can say, what's your knowledge as far as roofing research? Have you done this before? They're gonna say yes or no. They say yes, then I literally have, awesome. So you kind of have a pretty good understanding. You're gonna make my job easy. Are you allowed to tell me who they were? Is it a secret? You wanna joke around with them a little bit. Is there anything that stood out? Anything you didn't quite like? Obviously, if you're there, they didn't go with them yet. So you want to dig to see what that company didn't offer them that you can. They say no, which is normal as well. It's a little corny, but roofing newbie. Oh, all right, no problem. You're new to roofing. I'll make sure I cover everything so you have a really good understanding. Most important, there's no such thing as a silly question. If I go too fast, just let me know and ask me anything. So you want to make them feel comfortable. Don't make them feel like they're asking you something that is simple. Make them just want to open up to you. Any questions so far? Or? All right. So this is very, very straightforward, man. So Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what's your motivation for looking for a new roof? I'll role play. Rob, what's your motivation for looking for a new roof? Why am I here today?
We have some leaks.
You had a leak?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the leak at?
There's some of the ceilings coming down from like the roof down. Yeah.
Upstairs, I'm guessing, right? All right, you want to go show me?
Sure.
All right, cool. So now he just told me his leak's upstairs. Now we're gonna go up to the bathroom, the bedroom, take some pictures. This is where you can build urgency. All right, your drywall is getting wet. You don't want to wait too long. Now you're not just replacing the roof. Now you're gonna have water damage in here and so forth. All right, so now he told me I'm here because they have a leak. Anything else? How long has the leak been going on?
About 4 months.
4 months? Oh, wow. Whatever this is, this has a leak. Oh, wow. You want to kind of act surprised and, get them like, oh, I got to do this, So now I'm starting urgency already. All right, so we go through a little bit with that. Have you guys had any work done on a home that involved a contractor? So we sit back at the table. Have you had any work done on a home?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You just moved here like a year ago or something. You said, right? Okay, cool. If they say yes, you can ask them who the company was. So hypothetically, say he says, yeah, we had our bathroom done. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest install ever, what would you give it?
I would say about 4.
A 4? Oh wow. Why? What makes them get a 4, and why so low?
I was saying you're good.
I wasn't really satisfied. We still, getting a little drip here and there. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're getting a little drip in the bathroom still? Okay. So, other than the drip, is there anything else that made them get a 4? I mean, that's 6 points. That's a big gap. What else could they have done to bridge that gap to get closer to a 10?
Make the drip go away.
Make the drip go away? All right, I got you. So now I'm just writing, or I'm typing on right in front of them. They're looking at me, they're writing. I'm just taking notes for you. I'm trying to help you out, So, what would have made it a 10? You said make the drip go away. I don't know, how was their, and then you can go to the next part, how was their communication? You want to ask them questions. Did they communicate well with you throughout the project?
They did.
Yeah.
They tried, but like I said, that was one purpose only. I wanted to get this problem fixed.
Okay. Got it. So now I know they didn't do a good job. The workmanship was poor. The communication wasn't. He said they tried. The communication wasn't top tier. They didn't get white glove service. So now when I'm gonna tell Rob, all right, I'll make sure our communication is great, make sure our workmanship is great, and I'll explain that to him about who we are, certifications, and all that stuff. Rob, let's say we get to the end of this presentation. What would need to happen to make this a no-brainer for you? What do you need from me to make you feel comfortable to move forward with us today to get a new roof on your house?
I mean, as long as we can acknowledge what the problem is, and if you tell me that you're willing to, step in and fix it, then that's what I'm looking for. That's what he's up.
Awesome. All right, let's do it. See how I can help you. It's kind of repetitive, but sometimes you want to jump back into if they have a lot of complaints or if it's great. On the other end, they could say, hey, this was, the bathroom install was great. I loved it. Why'd you love it? Oh, the guy, he came here, he measured it, he got my permits for me, he did this, he did that. I felt comfortable. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. I got a 2-year-old daughter. So he was a really good dude, and they cleaned up great. They left, and, the bathroom was brand new, So you can go on both sides, depending on what the answer is. Lastly, what are some things you want to make sure I cover today? Is there anything about roof-related, warranty, anything you want to make sure I cover?
I will go over the warranty.
Warranty? All right, so now I'm writing down warranty. I'm typing up warranty. Anything else about the roof? Install methods? Anything about?
As long as you explain everything,
Okay.
communicate it, then I'm happy.
Awesome. All right.
Be transparent.
Transparency. So we, very transparent. If there's something I don't know the answer to, I'll make a call and I'll figure it out for you. All right. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to overpromise, underdeliver. I want to, underdeliver. And I want to do the opposite. So I want to make sure you're good. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's jump into it. So now you just went through discovery, and, 10 minutes. We rushed through it, but that might take 15, 20 minutes. But now that person, their guard's down. They're like, all right, this guy really cares. It's better than just showing up. A lot of guys up north, if they're not doing insurance, they might just come, they get off the truck, they hop up on the roof, they look, they say, all right, $10,000. And then I'll send you an email, and they don't email them, or they just text them, So now we're going through everything, and people, they really appreciate it. So I'm not gonna go through my company background because it doesn't pertain to you guys. So I'll glaze over it. So similar like this when I sit down, we're sitting down in front of the homeowner, they see this, we're roofs by Don. All right. The discovery is the thing I just went over. So here you can type your discovery notes in the software. Background. So this would be your background. Roofs by Don, we've been in business for X amount of years. We're based in Marietta, Georgia, and so forth. So peace of mind. I let them know, hey, we're fully licensed, bonded, and insured up to $2 million. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we presented on the iPad. So I'll take my iPad, because I know this thing front and back, and I'll just sit at the table with the homeowner, and they're just looking at it, and we're having a conversation at the same time. So if there's something I want to point to, then the iPad is in the middle of both of us. Yep, or you can get some of my guys have their iPad, and they have a little screen, and the homeowner can look at the screen, and then they scroll on the iPad. the screen's in front of the homeowner too. So there's like different ways. Or virtual. We do a lot of virtual leads too. So we'll sell virtually. But yeah, so peace of mind. You know, you want to make them feel as a company. You know, right now I told them who Roofs by Don is. They know our reputation. You could talk about all your sponsors. You guys got AccuLinks and Pitch Gauge, and you got the Roof Hall of Fame. You got, and you know, we have a walk-in gallery. If Mr. and Mr. Jones, you want to swing by and see what the shingles look like, and you know, just build a lot of credibility about the company. Now you want to do peace of mind with them. So I have right here. I always zoom in. You know, we're fully licensed, bonded, and insured. $2 million per incident per person. You know, God forbid we're on a roof, something happens, right? Ladder falls on your car. I seen that brand new Camaro outside. What if a ladder fell on that and hit it? If we didn't have insurance, then what? Who's paying for that? You know? So before we start a project, we add you guys on as a COI holder, certificate of insurance holder, you know, and this is all before we even get materials delivered to the house. All right. They're like, oh, wow, okay, great. Because they're going to ask you if you're insured, you know? Then we have the importance of insurance, horror stories. I just gave you one. And you just want to make it simple. You know, any questions about insurance, us being licensed, bonded, and insured? No, great. Okay, you're good. All right, awesome. So then we go into testimonials. So I'm not going to read through all of these. You know, here's some of our testimonials. I'm sure you checked us out on the Better Business Bureau or Google page before we even got here. Obviously, I'm sure you wouldn't have me on your home if you didn't like our reviews. If you want to read through one, just zoom in and read through one. All right. People get excited. Assurance of quality. So this slide, now we're talking about all of our accreditations. So now I'm building credibility as a company. Because this person, you know, I'm asking them, their insurance is on our end, insurance isn't paying for it. They're paying $20,000 for this. So they need to see why they're spending $20,000. You know, we're 5-star rated on the Better Business Bureau. We're accredited. We have no complaints. Cool. You know, GAF certified. You know, only 5% of roofing contractors in North America, so United States and Canada, are GAF certified. And they're like, oh, wow, you know, GAF's the oldest roofing manufacturer in all of North America. You know, the warranty's backed by Good Housekeeping. And we go through all these different certifications, you know, just to build that quality and build the value. Because obviously there's, you know, Bob and Chuck off a truck that can come in, say you tell him the roof is $12,000, he might come and say it's, you know, $8,000. You know, they want to see why that $4,000 difference is there. You know, there is, you know, we're offering you this golden pledge warranty. We're offering you 5-star white glove service. You know, we have a showroom. You know, we're here. You know, we're not going anywhere. You know, what happens if that guy gets sick? You know, it's just him and his son, just 2 people working on a truck on the roof. What happens if one of them gets sick? You have no warranty. You know, so different things there. So we have our cert here. Then, you know, we give them a little synopsis of what's going to happen, you know, once they do give us the green light. So we do something called pre-install inspection. So once that contract's signed, we send one of our inspectors out. So we have our GAF quick measure. I looked at the roof today. I took some pictures. I flew my drone around. But then we actually have one of our crew leads, or our pre-install inspectors, come hop up on the roof. So he comes up on the roof. He'll take some pictures. He'll measure again to make sure everything is accurate. So that way, when we do get the materials delivered and that dumps are delivered, we're not running back and forth between the supplier. We want to get your roof done in one day. So 99% of the time, we're installing the roof in one day. And it's because we're doing these prior steps and being prepared for you guys. All right? So we tarp off all your bushes, all your landscaping. You know, we make sure everything's covered. If you have any furniture, any deck furniture by the house, we remove everything. We put cloths down. I think you guys have the catch-all. What's it called? Yeah, the catch-all. So we'll put our catch-all up, and we'll make sure everything's covered. Windows, AC units, we'll put plywood over it, you know, the whole 9. You guys go to your installs? Yeah. All right, awesome. So you see it. So you're just explaining literally how the install works, because people don't know. We don't do any layovers, so I explain what a layover is. A layover is when you put an additional layer of shingles on an old layer of shingles. I explain why that's bad. You know, shingles are extremely heavy. Up north, I don't think you guys get snow down here, but we get snow. You get snow? Not much? Very rare. But yeah, we don't do any layovers. Shingles are heavy. You know, say you got 20 squares, you know, that might be a couple thousand pounds. That's like putting a small car on top of old plywood, old shingles, a 30-year roof. It's not smart. So why are we going to do that, you know? So, and we can't warranty it. So we never do layovers. People call in, we don't do that. That's not us. So at that point, you know, now you're feeding, you know, you're just feeling the homeowner. You know, you say, okay, the guy's like, all right, you know, they either be shaking their head like this, or they're like, oh, honey, the other guy told us he'll put the shingles on top. You know, you can kind of feel it in the room. Replace any necessary plywood, any wood decking. We do, we go through everything, drip edge, flashing. So now you're just explaining the system, right? So this is where we bring up the measurements. So at this point, I'd bring up the quick measure. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you guys have, you guys have a gable roof with a dormer out the side, something simple. The quick measure, I'll pull it up. Your roof is 36 squares or 3,600 square feet. So I have this satellite software that, makes my job easy. We're in 2024. I don't need to hop up there or anything. I know you mentioned the other guy went up there. I don't need to do that. So I got everything here for you. And I think did you get in your email before we swung by? Did you get the email with the measurements in it? Oh yeah, I received that. All right, yeah. So there you go. Cool. Different style roofs. Here's some jobs we've done. We don't only do shingles. We do metal roofs. We do EPDM, TPO. So there's all different. Some of the jobs we've done and so forth. Any questions for me, Mr. and Mrs. Jones?
Yeah, what part of them? Like, yeah, you said you were from up north.
Oh yeah, we're headquartered in New Jersey, but we do New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Northern Maryland. So, yeah. Warning signs. So Rob, does this look familiar? When I got here, you showed me that, right? It's time for a new roof, man, right? So, obviously you wait too late, it's gonna cost you double, right? So we got mold, obviously moisture and things, deck warping, the plywood might bind up a little bit. We have shingle decay. Obviously the roofs ain't changed me, it's done, Algae, maybe on that north side where that tree is over there. Cracked shingles, staining, like we just saw, staining and leaks, and granule loss. Obviously, that's what you ever see when it rains, those little black pebbles roll down the gutters and they go down the driveway. So those are your granules. So those are actually protecting your roof fibers. When those are gone, the roof is done. So it's compromised. So I would go into a little more detail with that. I know we have, we're on a time constraint, so I don't want to, get into it too much. But also at this time, I would ask them to go outside with me. So now, when I was walking up, Rob, I did see some granule loss. Come with me really quick. I don't say, can you just, hey, come with me really quick, I'll show you. So now I'm walking outside, I'm in the front yard. You see right here, see this valley right here? You see all the granules are going right here. And then I'll walk around the back of the house. I just circle the house. All right, walk around the back of the house. Right here, you got a little bit of deck warping. Remember I told you the plywood can bind a little bit. Right up here, you got a shingle blown off the ridge of the roof. Little things like that. Now you're building urgency. They can see it, because people drive, even though it's their roof, they don't notice all this stuff. They just see the leak. So they don't know that they have deck warping. They don't know that they don't have drip edge on their house. They don't know that. No, until the bathroom caves in and they have that leak coming in the bad rain. So it's too late. And then that's it. Look, you just said it. Don't wait till it's too late. So time's running out. When you wait till it's too late, moisture gets trapped in the attic, leaks. You can get mold. It can go airborne. You get sick home syndrome. So these are just different ways we build in the script that you can build urgency. Salt deposits and so forth. Yeah.
When you're building urgency on these key points, how long do you typically take? Well, between like say a rock has a leak, how long are you taking between?
I just wait. I keep asking him questions, and when he can't ask me any more questions, I don't put a time limit on it. So if he's like super emotional, it's like, I can't stand this leak. I need this roof done now. This thing's been going on for 4 months. I've been telling my wife about this and this, and I just let him rant. I'm like, yeah, you do need to do this. You should not wait. But there's no time limit on it. I also try and peek into the attic here, especially if I'm in the house. So I say, hey, you have attic access, Rob? Yeah. Sometimes it's a pain. You got to hop through the closet and shimmy up. But I'll take a picture, and then when you take a picture in the attic, you might see some salt deposits. You might see some plywood. And then I come down. I'm like, hey, that picture right here I just showed you? Check this out. And I was like, yeah, that's right above the bathroom. So, we're 100% gonna have to replace that plywood, and I have no idea, if you wait another week or a month or the next storm, what's gonna happen? Plywood's not cheap. And then now he's like, oh wow, he's not just telling me this, he just showed me this. So, but that's a really good question. So now, any questions about About us, about Roots by Don. You have any questions about us as a company, or no? All right. You guys have any questions about anything we discussed so far? No.
Just build a rapport, make them feel comfortable, make them show that you're concerned about their concerns.
Yeah, that's it, man. White glove service. Listen.
Find out other problems that they wasn't even aware of.
Yep. Listen. Yep. And just whatever they say to you, just spit it back to them and come up with a solution. That's it. So, I think I just messed this mic up. Sorry. So now the GA, this is this is the system we do install. We're GAF weather stopper roofing system certified. I'm not going to go through the system. You guys know it. So I would go through the parts of the system because now I need to build value. Now I need to tell them, okay, this is why your roof's going to be $20,000 or or $200 a month. I'm not just going to, okay, it's 36 squares, it's 20 grand. Sign here. I'm like, what? No. You need to build the value. You have to get buy-in throughout the presentation too, right? So, as I go, we go through. We remove the existing shingles. And we do, we don't do any layovers. Everything's covered, just like I said before. So now I'm just reiterating with pictures and going through everything I said. Replace all necessary plywood. Here, it has some ice damming. There might have not been ice and water shield there prior. Some guys might take a 3-tab, flip it upside down, call it a day. And you're going through that whole portion of everything. No drip edge. As we've seen, we walked around the house outside. Remember, I was showing you drip edge, and then I looked across the street, and the neighbor just got his roof done. That white stuff we were pointing at? That's the drip edge. So then I'm telling them, they're like, oh, I don't have that. Man, damn. They have the fear of missing out on it. And this is the house with drip edge. I explained what drip edge does. A house without drip edge, your roof can look like this right here, right? Water is very adhesive, very, very adhesion. So water adhesion is a real thing. So if you don't have drip edge on your house, it rains, or if you get snow upstairs, we get snow, and that snow, melts, or when the water is going on, it runs and seeps right back up on the plywood. After years and years and years of that happening, the wood's gonna rot out. Drip edge pretty much acts like a bridge. It's beveled at the end so that the water can't seep back onto the roof. So I explain that because they just look at it, they might think it's just a piece of metal, but it's there for a reason, New flashing, pipe boots. I explain what these do. You guys know. Shingle match pane, so forth. Flashing, we never keep any of the old flashing, ever. So, especially like a split level house, they might have the leak right at that split. So when you're walking outside and you tell, Rob, your bathroom is right where the house is split at. You're outside, you're looking at the granule loss, you're looking at the deck warping, and then the leak's right. He's pointing, he's like, oh, that leak's right here where the house is split. All right, cool, there might not be any flashing there, or it might be compromised. When we replace the roof for you, we'll replace that. And you can explain what step flashing is, So just little things like that. Ice and water shield up here, down here, this might not pertain to you guys as much. Yeah, it does?
Oh, we still use it.
Oh, you still use it? Okay. But we get ice damming, Up there we speak about what ice damming is. And especially like in Pennsylvania, like in the mountains or the Poconos or something like that, if I'm pitching, snow all the time. So they see, okay, I got a foot of snow on my roof. When that snow melts a little bit, nighttime comes, I'm not heating the gutters and the soffit, that water is gonna freeze again. It sits at the eave of my roof, pushes out the gutters, can seep into the plywood and cause my roof to rot out. Ice and water shield prevents that. Helps prevent that. The drip edge, the ice and water shield, the new plywood, and I reiterate what we're going back over when I get to the next slide. All right. So, deck armor, and then we have samples. So at this point, I'm giving them the samples. I'm letting them touch the drip edge. I'm letting them touch the plywood. Letting them touch the deck armor. I'll joke around with them a little bit and say, hey, if you can rip this, if you can tear this deck armor, we'll give you $1,000 off. So you'll see people like big guys trying to tear it, they can't rip it. I tell them it's waterproof, not water resistant. One lady poured her coffee on it. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna rain 120 degrees. We have other problems, but they joke around a little bit. And I always give an analogy or something that's similar to. So deck armor, any of you guys ski or surf, anything like that, or yeah? So deck armor, if you think about it, is similar to like Gore-Tex. So you have your surf suit on, your ski suit on, you don't overheat, it's permeable, your body's able to breathe, but it protects you from the extreme weathering elements. It's the same thing as your house. It's like wrapping your roof deck in Gore-Tex. And people are like, oh, wow, okay, So it just makes it similar, and they can dull it down a little bit. Then you just have each step: starter, strip shingles, prevent blow-offs, the actual shingles, the ridge vent, how important a ridge vent is for ventilation purposes. Obviously in the wintertime, you don't want to get moisture trapped in there if there's no ventilation. In the summertime, keeps the attic cooler. It doesn't compromise the shingles and so forth. So I'm going to jump into, go down here, I'm going to jump into price conditioning. So this point, we're talking about the warranty. We go through the warranty. We have, obviously, a typical warranty, and we just read it. A typical roof warranty, Bob and Chuck, they're going to give you this. We're going to give you this. They're going to give you this. We're going to give you this, and we go side by side. And I know you mentioned warranty was very important to you, Rob. Does this warranty look good to you?
Pretty decent.
Yeah? The lifetime, the 50 years, fully transferable. Cool. All right, great. So then you get that buy-in from them. So now, this is more so where you start getting to the fun part. So now I have a quote here from PJ Fitzpatrick. I blocked out the homeowner's name. So right here, I have felt paper circled. So earlier when I was showing you the difference between the deck armor and the felt paper, remember the black stuff you just ripped really easily? And so this quote involves felt paper, right? So they're giving felt paper. This roof is 2,500 square feet, right? So they charge this person $1,716 per square foot, which is insane. So they charge them $42,915. So your roof, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'll have this prepared before we go into the meeting, or you can do it on the spot. So 3,600 squares times 17.16. Anyone have a calculator on? I can pull mine out. 61,776.
Yep.
Yeah. So PJ Fitzpatrick, they'll give you a brand new roof for only $61,776, and then people they make that face. They're like what, But this is an actual quote from them, and it's showing price per square foot and everything. You guys heard of Power Home Remodeling? Mm-hmm. So this is a quote from Power Home Remodeling. So they're charging, they're giving you a little better break than PJ Fitzpatrick. So Power, 3,600 square feet, 13.23. So Power will give it to you for what is that, 50 something?
47,628.
47,628. So you get a brand new roof, for the price of a nice boat. Sound good? And people are usually like, what? They're like, nah, if your roof costs this much, I don't want it. Just get out. And you joke around with them a little bit, And then we got good old Home Depot, I wouldn't get a roof from Home Depot. They're gonna give you tar paper. They're gonna subcontract it out. And you ever walk into Home Depot and just try and get help, trying to find some paint? Can you get help? Imagine your roof is leaking. Who are you gonna call? So you joke with them like that. So this has tar paper in the quote. They charge these folks $30,875, $1,240 per square. Insane. So what is that? 3,600 square feet times 12.40 equals, what is that?
44,640.
44,640 from Home Depot. So now they have a gauge of what other companies in the area are charging for a GAF roof with tar paper. We're giving them deck armor, and it's ridiculous. It's astronomical, super high. So now they're like, now you'll feel their tension. You're like, oh, this is crazy. I'm not buying it, And then don't worry, they might say, they'll say things like, is your roof cost that much? Not Mr. and Mrs. Jones, just wait. I'll sharpen my pencil for you. No, just relax. You'll be all right. So now I go back to my discovery. So I call it leaving the gun on the wall. So I left those prices. I just leave it there, and I just let them think about it. So now I go back to discovery. Remember the first page we went through when I asked all those questions, right? So, and it's all written down. It'd be typed up. So, Rob, we spoke about warranty, right? Cool. And I just put a check mark to it or I wipe it out. All right, so you have no questions about the warranty. All right, Rob, we talked about communication, right? Communication, transparency, the leak, workmanship, and all these different things. I talked about communication with you. Do we feel comfortable that I'm able to communicate with you? All right, awesome. I want to make sure that's the number one thing. Transparency. I was very, very transparent. I told you if there's something I can't answer, I'm going to make a phone call and someone on my team is going to be able to help us out. All right? The leak. You think we'll be able to fix the leak for you?
I trust you.
Workmanship. Obviously, you guys are GAF certified, all that, I showed you all our certifications, we have those certifications for a reason. We do continued training, and you're just reiterating what you got, right? So now you're going through your discovery, that discovery page that, when I was I said quantify the experience. Why'd you give him a 4? And I'm just answering everything. That way, when I give him the pricing, there's no other objection. I know. Now I just need to work on the numbers. Yeah, exactly. Because you met with the other company. So at this point, I just pull up a little promotional video to get them excited. GF has like the little roofing TVs. I might put that out, or I might just pull up a little YouTube video showing them a roofing system, how beautiful it is. And while they do that, I work up my numbers. I just double check my numbers. Usually it's about 60-second video. And so once the video's over, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, all right. So I sit down. If I'm standing up, I sit down and I say, yeah, as far as financing, we work with different lenders. I'm able to give you those monthly installments while I'm here today. I just tell them. There's no prepayment penalty. You're not locked into it. Anything you pay in advance goes directly towards the principal. It's unsecured, and it's by far the least expensive and most practical way to finance a home improvement. All right, and the finance is very, very simple, and I'll be able to give you those comfortable numbers today. If you want to move forward with the cash route, cash, credit card, whatever it is, that's also an option. Usually, you like a contractor, you like the price, the contractor's going to ask you for a deposit, right? So you go ahead, you write him a check for a third, right? So he leaves the house, you write him a check for a third, hopefully he comes back, Then if he does come back, if he gets the material in the dumpster there, he might ask you for some more money before the job starts that day, right? So now you shelled out 2/3 before you seen a shingle on the roof. That can be pretty scary. You guys ever heard any horror stories of contractors running off with the money? So then they'll tell you a story. Everyone knows one. They'll tell you a story. So I want this process to be as comfortable as possible for you and your family. So we'll get your old roof, we'll remove everything, take off all the shingles, all the underlayment, put the new plywood up, the drip edge, the ice and water shield, the starter strip shingles, the deck armor, the architectural shingles, the beautiful ridge vent I showed you, the shingle match paint. Now you said you want your roof to be falcon red, so we might be able to paint your pipes red for you. We'll do it with no money down. So whatever you're comfortable with, we'll do it with no money down. When you're done, you sign off on a certificate of completion. You either just go into the comfortable monthly installments, which I'll show you now, or you just go with or you just pay us when it's done. All right, sound fair enough? And they're usually like, all right, yeah, cool. So then I just go into it. I don't know. Let's just say the roof is rough roof, $18,211. I always will. Actually, I can give you a real 1 point. Can someone do this number times 0.0125?
18 to 11 times
0.0125. We have a calculator with financing, but I don't have it open. $227.63. All right, cool. And let's just say this is for, 96 months. I think that's 96 months. So after I go through all that, I got the discovery. There's everything. I answered all your questions, right? I explained financing because I don't want to be laying off numbers not knowing what I'm talking about. If he asks me, is this secured? I don't know. What is that? I'm not buying from you. I told you already. It's unsecured. Anything you pay in advance goes to the principal. And it's by far the least expensive, most practical way to finance the project. A lot of people do it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, something psychology-wise, I never tell them it's $18,211. I say, for your new roof, I go through the line items they're getting. 18211 or 227 a month. You know, at that point, I wait. I sit there. I just sit there. They might look at each other. If I see them starting to look at each other, say, you know what? I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna make a call. My phone was vibrating, I'm gonna check my phone. Grab me when you need me. I go out to the front porch, call the porch light closed. Stand there, and I don't knock. The longer I'm outside, the higher chance I have that that deal's gonna close, right? They come back in. Hey, Jamel, or hey, Mel, all right, Mel, we have a couple questions. So, you know, I walk through the door. I'm smiling, right? What we got? You know, sit down at the table. You know, so with the financing, you said it's unsecured, right? Yeah, it's unsecured. Okay, and then if we want to pay it off early, there's no penalty for it? No, there's no penalty. All right, you know, we think we like everything. So what's the next steps? Get them pre-approved. Just get them pre-approved. As you're getting them pre-approved, you know, you type in their name and you already know everything. You pull it up, you know, Rob, last name, Rob, what's your date of birth? You're doing all of that. After they're pre-approved, you want to bring excitement to this. You know, they're getting a new roof. He's getting approved. All right, Rob, you know, all right, cool. Hey, you run it. You know, you're approved. All right, congratulations, you know, congratulations. You're writing up your contract. You're in the house writing up the contract. You know, they go through everything, you know, shake their hand, welcome to the family. And then we button up, you know, we button up. The button-up process is huge. You don't want to just sign up $18,000 and just jolt out the house. You know, they're gonna be like, this guy I love the guy, but I'm canceling. So after I sign the contract, I sit down. You know, the emotions are all high. They're happy, and I tell them straight up. I say, Rob, you know, tomorrow you might wake up. You know, emotions are high right now. You know, I want to make sure this project does get installed. You know, with the financing, you might know you got to wait a couple of days for the right of rescission and so forth. So I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. Are you free around 10 or 11 o'clock? Yeah, 11. Just a couple minutes. I just want to make sure we're still on the same page. I might have, you know, you might have forgot to ask me a question. So you might have something about the financing, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So I always set that follow-up button-up meeting. And then I sit down and talk to them for about 15, 20 minutes. You know, so at this point, I'm still their friend. We signed up. We had that weird, awkward cancellation type of talk about buyer's remorse. And I tell them buyer's remorse is a real thing. I get it, you know. I bought my truck, you know, I pulled off the lot, I was happy, and then I'm like, I got my first payment, like, should I have bought this, you know? But, you know, and it's a real thing. You want to relate with them. So by bringing that up in the room, it's a lot better than them emailing you the next day or calling into the office and you think you just closed an $18,000 deal and you're getting paid. Oh, yeah, Mr. Jones, he canceled. You're like, what? And then it's something as simple as just, you know, just bringing it up. It's hard to do, but it works. It limits the cancellations because they're paying that $18,000, not the insurance. So you got to reiterate, like, you know, you want to keep that value. You want to make sure that you're keeping that relationship after the post-sale. So that's huge. The button up is huge. And that's basically, you know, the process of how we go and we pitch, how we lay out the financing, you know, saying the digits individually. Even if someone says I'm paying cash, you know, I'm a big baller, I'm paying cash. Okay, cool. I'm still going to tell them it's 18211 or 227 a month, just because, you know, people say that all the time, and then they see the monthly installments around $200. Like, oh wow, I'm gonna keep my $18,000 in my pocket, you know. So especially if the insurance isn't paying for it. So always, you know, give them both options. You can once you get good at the finance, you can get creative with it. Someone says we're gonna pay cash. You know, you have a good rapport with them. All right, Rob, you know, I know you want to pay cash. We do have a promotion, you know, I can do 6 months or 12 months same as cash for you. You know, instead of you putting 18.2 out at once, you know, you can just divide that up into 12 equal payments. You know, does that sound a little better to you? Is that a little more comfortable? Yeah, you know what, man, I can do that. Yeah, take your wife on a trip or something, man. You know, like, you know, and you just want to relate to them. They say no, you know, you come in, this is where it gets fun. You know, you come inside, sit down. You have different things, man. You're the second quote. Okay, you guys are 18. The other guy told us 15.6, right? The other guy's cheaper. They might not tell you that, but you got to dig for it, right? So at this point, It's a price thing. It's a price thing. It's a value thing. You know, value and price, costs are all different things. So now you got to justify. You know, you got to hold the value what the $3,000 difference is and why they should spend that extra $3,000 and go with you instead of Bob and Chuck, right? So now you would listen to them. I always say, listen, agree, reword, question, inform, close. So you want to listen to them, whatever they say to you, does not matter. Oh, you know, we have college coming up, the kids are doing this, or, you know, we have another estimate, we have, you're my first estimate, it doesn't matter. Like, just listen to them. Agree. No problem. All right, Rob, you know, I understand, you know, I was just your last estimate, your second estimate. You know, the other two companies came in, like you told me, a little less, or whatever it is. You know, just agree with them. You know, reword or empathize with them. I don't even think if I spelled it. Hold on, empathize. Empathize? You get what I'm saying? Empathize? Yeah. Like I'm just doing right now. You want to empathize with them. So you want to make them, you want to relate with them. You know, you don't want to combat them. If you combat them, you're not going to get the deal, no matter how much they love you, because you're disagreeing with them. Question. So when I question, I take a step back, you know? I shut my laptop, you know? So Rob, you know, I'm sitting down, I shut my laptop. I want to lower his guard now because now he has a little shield up. He's like, I like you and all, but there's a discrepancy, there's some friction there. It's $3,000 of difference, you know? I question him, Rob, you know, I/me. You know, Rob, did I do a good job explaining everything today? Yeah? All right, I just want to make sure, you know, I want to make sure it's not me, all right? How about the company? Are we the type of company you do see yourself doing business with at some point in the future? If we can, you know, if we can figure something out numbers-wise? Yeah. You like the company?
Professional, yes.
Yeah? What do you like particularly about the company?
I'm big on transparency.
Transparency?
Explain everything to the details, so I like that.
Okay. And then the system. So now you need to build value because you're $3,000 cheaper or more expensive, a little whatever that difference is, $3,000 more. So the system. Do you like the system?
Yeah, I like it.
You know what? Let me take that back. I said it like on purpose. Let me take that back. Do you love the system?
Yeah, I love the system.
You love the system.
In comparison to what I already, experienced.
In comparison to what you already experienced? All right. So you love the system. So you like me, you like the company, you love the system. So now it's safe to say that we're just looking at this $227 a month. That's pretty much it?
Yeah,
Okay, got you. So let's go through the pros and cons, right? So I literally write down the pros and cons, right? You can do the checks and the minuses, whatever it is. All right, Rob. So what do you love about the system?
more or less, like I said, the system, the way you explain how everything is going to come into play and all of that stuff, the other company wasn't willing to do that.
All right,
I'm quite sure they have a system as well, but
got it.
like I said,
So at this point, they're gonna list things to you: the deck armor, the plywood, the drip edge. Excuse me, financing. We offer financing. They're offering 15.6, but they don't have financing. No financing. You're going through communication. You're writing down all the pluses we spoke about throughout this entire presentation. And then, sorry about that. And what's the bad thing? You know, what's one of the minuses of the? What's one of the minuses we discussed today? What's causing the friction?
I mean, like 2,000, we don't want to do that.
It's the 227, right?
or the difference in the price of itself.
227 a month. So basically all this, and this is just isolating him. He's just telling me that literally it's just a 227 a month or the 18,000. So now at this point, I built my value back, lowered his guard. I closed my laptop. He's a little more relaxed. And there's two ways. You can try and resell back on value. You know, you can talk about warranty again. You can talk about all of our accolades. You can talk about we're not going anywhere. You can sell that way. A little more effective way is a justified price drop. So, you know, I'm not saying go down to 15.6 because now you're dropping all your value. You know, you're not Bob and Chuck off the truck. You guys are Roost by Dawn. You guys, people know you. You're established. You don't want to be that much. You want to be more. You know. So you'll go into a couple things. All right, Rob, I know obviously we went through everything here. You love the system, you love me, you love, the company. So let's see what we can do about this number, all right? As far as, we have a program, we have marketing dollars. Sometimes we allocate money over here, sometimes we allocate money over here, right? Basically, like a builder. A builder will go through, he has a lot. He might build 500 houses, right? So he has model home A, model home B. You walk through the model homes, there's a couch in there, it's all decorated and staged, there's balloons out front, and you pick which house you want. So you walk through the house, you say, okay, I want model home A and I want lot 42. So once that builder sells the entire lot, he has these 2 model homes. Those model homes are free marketing. So if I am able, to discount this or, give you a little, wiggle on the numbers a little bit, I want to use your house as a model home. So the way we do that is, we take before and after pictures. So I took some drone photos now. Our pre-install inspector will come, he'll take photos, and then after photos. Is that something you're okay with? We use it on social media, our website. Is that something you're good with?
For a discount,
Yeah? All right. So yard signs, you're good. And Rob, you're a corner property. Do you mind if we put 2 so people can see us on both sides?
Sure.
All right, awesome. So referrals. Referrals are huge. Can you give me, before I leave here today, can you give me a list of 3 people who you think might be interested in a roof? If it's either, obviously we're not going through insurance with you today because whatever, but is it 3 people you think I can get that would be interested in a roof, or at least give me a couple minutes to talk to them, like a list of names?
If you give me a couple of days.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you a couple of days. No problem. No problem. So you'll give me the referrals in a couple of days. I said before and afters, yard signs. And then once the job's done, review. So we'll send you the link. If you want to put a picture of the house with the review, reviews are huge. Everyone goes directly to the internet nowadays when they're looking up anything. So once the job's done and you're happy, a 5-star review. So instead of just a review, I'm going to say a 5-star review, right? If you can give us a 5-star review, these are all different parts of our marketing program. So instead of us allocating dollars to Facebook ads and, different Google and SEO and different things like that, we're willing to invest into you so that we can recoup more business in this neighborhood. All right? So now, at this point, you got your 18.2. You want to knock off 10%, you want to make it 17.2, you want to knock off 500, whatever you're comfortable with that you think will get the job done, right? I usually take 10%. I know my margins. If it's 18.2, I'm going to knock off $1,800. So whatever this is, say it just comes down to 17.326. And then I always give them that monthly installment. So now the 227 might drop down to, 198, right? So then I show them, I said, all right, Rob, I know it was the 18.211. Obviously the other guy's 15.6. We both discussed this. His warranty's 10 years. We went through all of that. Obviously I'm not able to do that. If we can meet in the middle with not meet in the middle. If we can go with the marketing program, I'm able to get you to 17,326 or 198 a month. Sound fair enough to you? All right. Sounds good? So shake his hand. All right. So now I got the commitment. He told me yes. So I want to make sure this is concrete as possible. All right, Rob. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna call up. I actually didn't even plan this. Let me see if I can call someone. I want to call up, one of my managers and see what we do have in a marketing budget. Usually they give us a buffer, but I want to make sure it's there, right? So I got your commitment. Always get his commitment before you call, because if you call and you don't get his commitment, then you work backwards. So you get the commitment. So I call in. All right, so basically what would happen is, like you just said, we'd call, hey, I'm here with Rob, we're at 123 Easy Street. I want to see what we had in the marketing budget. The roof is 36 squares. You just get the whole synopsis. Roof's 36 squares, we're at 18,211. He has a couple quotes for less, 15,6, whatever it is. He agreed to move forward today at the 17,326 or 198 a month if we can get him to that. I want to see what we have in the budget. So then the guy on the line, or if you step outside, you want to do a fake, whatever you want to do. I like to do it on speaker because it makes it a little more credible. You know, so he's gonna say, okay, all right, will you let us take before and after pictures? Because he knows it. Yeah, all right, yeah, okay, cool. And then Rob's on speaker. All right, hi Rob, would you let us do some yard signs? Yeah, we'll let you do yard signs. I'm like, oh, he's a corner property. Oh, will you let us do 2? So now he's saying the same exact thing I just said. What about referrals? You know, can you give us a list of names, like 3 or 4 names before you leave the house? He said he has to come up with it in a couple of days, but he can do it. How about a review? When a job is done, can you do a review? Okay, cool, look at it. So sometimes, depending on who you call, they might be a little hard on you. They might say, man, you know, it's a little early in the month to make that call. I don't know if we can go to 17,236. Can you do 17.5? It just makes it more realistic. You know, you don't want to lose the deal, but it makes it more realistic. And then Rob's like, oh man, hopefully I can get maybe I can get the 17.5. You know, and then Rob's gonna be like, I'm like, Rob, can you do 17.5? And then the guy on the phone's like, yeah, if he can do that, you know, it's really the margins are super slim. You know, we're early in the month. I don't know what we can allocate. And so Rob's like, you know what? All right, you know, I'll do the 17.5. So now you just made a couple more bucks just by the person on the phone saying, all right, I'll do 17.5, or I'll do 7, or I can do 18, whatever it is. But for the most part, when you first start doing it or whatever they tell you to do, if someone calls you, you call them, they'll say, yeah, you know, we can do it. Let's write it up. They'll say, you know, welcome to the family, Rob on the phone, welcome to the family, and then you're shaking their hands, high fives, hang up. Oh man, you know, I'd play it off like, oh man, I didn't, you know, it's a shot in the dark. I didn't think he's gonna do that. You know, I didn't think he's gonna do that. And then they're all happy, they love you. But so that's just, you know, that's one of the main ways. But I always build the value before I do a price drop. I don't just jump into a price drop because it looks a little sleazy. Because you might not need to do a price drop. You know, you go through the pluses and the minuses, reiterate in their mind, you know, and like, you know what? $2,700 for a 50-year roof versus 10 or whatever it is. What am I doing, you know? And you can even break this 227 down into 30. You know, what is that per day? 227 divided by 30, whatever that is, $6 a day, $6 or something like that. $7.56. You know, you might see a Starbucks cup on the table. You know, hey Rob, you drink Starbucks every day? Yeah. How much does the coffee cost you? I don't know, like $8. All right. You think you can go to Starbucks every other day? Yeah, I shouldn't even be drinking coffee. Okay, cool. So, you know, the roof's literally, you know, your coffee. You know, you can. There's different things you can do to make it realistic for the homeowner. But there's more. I know you were tight on time, but there's even more justified drops you can do. You know, if they say no to that, other ways you can bridge and go back in and try and close them again, lower their guard. Sometimes I've even left the house on purpose. You know, he told me no twice. Left the house, sat in my car, went back, just waited. You know, I would leave my, I'll leave my mouse, my computer mouse, and my pen. Yeah, I'll forget something. You know, it lowers everything. And I go back in. I'm like, hey, I left my pen. I left my mouse. You know, mind if I grab it? You know, Rob, while I'm here, man, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I can't gain your business. Right. You know. And then, what's he gonna tell you? No again? You know, you'd be surprised though. You go back, you wait 10 minutes, you leave, and you go back, and you know what? Yeah, come on in, let's do it. You know, so it happens, man. It happens. So just don't give up. Be persistent. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for having me today. I'm Jamel again with Green Roofing and Construction. I'm here at the Roof Gallery in was it Marietta? Yeah. Marietta, Georgia. Getting a lot of knowledge and light, like I said before, in the insurance game. So highly advise stopping by, and I appreciate you guys for having me.